Good morning, traders. Today is Wednesday, August 3rd. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All right, well, let's talk for just a moment about what went down yesterday in the market. Let's expand this profile out for the sake of the conversation. So basically, what we've had in the market as of late is a trend higher. We've had momentum to the upside. So yesterday morning when the market opened, we talked about the fact that the overnight's value area being lower than the previous night could mean the momentum was coming to an end and we needed to spend some time balancing off that momentum. There's two ways to balance off excess to the upside. You can either just rotate around at higher prices until you either break out up or down, or you can push up and then pull back down with price and repair that excess using price. It would appear the market wants to do it using time, the first of those options. And so what it has created is what we call a balance area. You can see I have marked here on the chart 4139.50 as a balance area high and 4085.50 as a balance area low. These numbers are kind of arbitrary. It's just a random level. There's no exactness to choosing a balance area high and low. Those are just numbers that I've come to from experience, watching the markets move the way they do and figuring out those are the targets to one end or another. So let's see how this balance area played out, right? We looked above, tried to pull back down, couldn't get to the opposite end. So the market tried once again to go higher, couldn't do it that time, pulled it all the way down to the opposite end of balance. Overnight found support right there at the balance area low, tried to take the market back up. We opened yesterday, A period, tried to get continuation of that, couldn't do it, took it back down, and once again, we tested that balance area low. We found support there that time around, which then targets, much like failing to the upside here did, looking below and failing to the downside, targets the opposite end of balance. So we traded straight from the balance area low to the balance area high yesterday. As soon as we looked above it in the G period yesterday and failed, what happened? It headed straight back down once again, and we closed down here near the balance area low. So what did the overnight do? They came on down, looked for support there, and now they've started to head us up the other direction. So for that reason, I am bullish to neutral this morning. Neutral to bullish, I guess you would say. I think the highest probability is that the market is now going to head back up to that balance area high, 4139.50. It will not probably do it literally in an exact straight line. It will probably be a lot of chop and a lot of grind first thing in the morning because we are opening in the middle of the previous day's range. So we are certainly expecting chop up and down. But once they get above the overnight high at 41.23, once they get above there, find some support, you could target a trade up towards that balance area high on the long side. It will probably be a slow, choppy grind up there, but that is where they are most likely headed. Where I will be looking for support in the chop this morning is the same area I was looking for it yesterday, where the overnight spent the most time and where the overnight brought in the most volume. So this area between like 40.90 and 4100. Be looking for support in there. So once the market opens, as long as the chop remains inside this general area, I'll expect it to just chop up and down. If they can get above the overnight high, I'll look to test that balance area high. If they get below the overnight low, things get very bearish, but we have to make sure that we get new selling down there because the overnight low is the balance area low. They may come down here, poke down just to repair this weak reference left behind yesterday, and just right back up to the opposite end like nothing. Because remember, this is where those stronger hand swing traders are doing business now. So as always, if we get below the overnight low and we start to get resistance, we can look for continuation lower, but make sure that we get that resistance first because they could just dip down there and head right back up to the opposite end. The market is balanced. We're looking for chop at the open. Look at that. Only took me 4 minutes. Now we've got all this time. Time to just sit and reminisce together. So everybody want to do a quick visualization exercise? Close your eyes and just listen to my voice. I want you to imagine yourself seeing an opportunity in the market today. It just appears. It comes to you. You know exactly where to put your entry, exactly where to put your stop, and the perfect spot to take profits. Visualize yourself entering each one of those elements of the order. Now see the order fill. The limit order fills. You're in the trade. It's slowly grinding its way up, but you're calm. You're focused. You're not going to move your stop. You're not going to take profits early. You let the market grind and grind. It gets almost to the spot where it's supposed to take profits and it starts to pull back, but you don't lose faith. You move your stop above your entry and you just wait. And then just like that, your order fills. You take your profits. You feel that feeling of winning, of beating the market at its own game. All right, open your eyes. The market's going to open in 2 minutes. Get ready to trade. Lee, how about NQ? Let's do it. Let's do some Q. So NQ also creating a balancing area. Not quite as clean as the ES. But you can just look at the areas where the overnight brought in the most support, spent the most time. Look at the areas where the regular trading hours brought in the most volume, spent the most time. That is pretty much your support zone. Actually, now that I look at it, it's just the overnight range. Okay, so pretty much on the NQ, same as the ES. Look for chop inside the overnight range. You got a lot of strong support here on the lows. So definitely looking for the market to find support in there around the 12,900s. Or I guess the low 12,900s. And then same thing as the ES. If it can get above the overnight high, come back down and find support, you could target a trade up towards yesterday's high. If I had to guess a balance area high, all right, the markets are open. So for the NQ, I would say the balance area high is 13,082. That is the target to the upside. Let's see what we got. We are expecting some chop. If you have not yet, please smash that like button. Give me that sweet, sweet thumbs up. A little support for the pirate. All right, well, we got good taper on the low. Overnight inventory is net long, so we should get a little bit of a pullback. Let the chop begin. All right, so we're going to look to repair this weak I and K period high from yesterday. Once we turn off that magnet, does the market turn around and head right back down? Okay, there's the repair. The A period high right now is considered weak because it's the same as the overnight high. So we need to get just 2 more ticks of excess up there. This is the weirdest way to draw support. Never done it from below like this. Hey, Nico. Welcome, Nico. All right, so things are getting a little bit bullish here. Overnight inventory being net long. And us looking for a pullback and getting really nothing, making good taper on the low. So now we're starting to work our way above that overnight high. We got some good excess on the high. So the question, actually now it's weak once again because of the overnight high from 2 nights ago. So we need a couple more ticks. Okay, now we have good excess. So the question is, do we find support around the overnight high at 41.22? If so, that is bullish for continuation up to the balance area high at 41.3950 if we get support. All right, well, that's new buyers above the high, which is bullish. So I am now bullish to test the balance area high at 41.3950, as long as we stay above the opening price at 41.16. So I'm looking for us to pull back down into some support here and then head on up to that balance area high. Once again, I stay bullish as long as we remain above the opening. Hey, another sub. Ben, welcome. Nap, why was yesterday's low weak? Because it was one letter off from 729. Coop, what was the signal that there was new buyers? There was a pink candle up there, and it was the ticks, right? So the overnight inventory was net long. The ticks opened all the way up here. They pulled down, okay? They pushed back up, which is what got us above that overnight high. And then I watched it pull down, and it pushed back up again, and I went, that's support. That's new buyers. If it's above the zero line, it's more buyers and sellers. If it moves up, then they are buying. There's more of them stepping in. It's also the lack of further downside continuation. We only pushed below the opening price twice. Both times made great taper, turned around and headed right back up. That is a sign we're heading to the opposite end of balance, which also plays into balance rules, which are pretty much the most potent signal we have. All right, as we pull into support here around the halfback and the overnight high, looking for those ticks to start to push their way back up. All right, here's where we're looking for support. We're looking for the buyers to step in and hold this market up. If they cannot and we pass back through that opening price, we are back in the chop zone. And that is less than ideal. So we are looking for the buyers here. All right, there's the support. So now can we get back above that overnight high? Element stopped out of my long. That sucked. Don't worry, it'll be a slow grind up there. There'll be other dips. Okay, so new buyers above the overnight high. Can they hold it? So there you go. Yeah, NQ is now testing that balance area high. They are getting resistance there. So it's obviously very, very early, but it could potentially be a look above and fail of the balance area high for the Q. Gotta wait and see. All right, so the next resistance above is 41.3375. Like I said, going to be a slow grind to get us up to that balance area high. Generally, when I see less than 100 contracts at the high or low of the day, I think to myself, that probably needs a little more business up there. However, we've got two exceptions right now. 97 is so close to 100, I'm okay with that. And 6 is so close to 0, I could consider that just a fluke. So almost like it's not there. So two exceptions to that rule, but worth mentioning. Generally, the high and low of the day will have at least 100 contracts or more exchange. Whoa. Some news must just dropped. Little news dropping. Dropping news dropping. Non-manufacturing PMI. Actual was 56.7, y'all. Oh, no. All right, so same as before, I stay bullish above the opening price. I still think we're heading up towards the balance area high. That was just a little news bot action. Okay, so we created a poor high here. If we immediately repair it, that is bullish to see. We've also now begun the initial balance to the upside. That is also bullish to see. And we have value overlapping to higher from yesterday, which is also bullish to see. So we are pushing up into some resistance around 41.33.75. And we'll look for a pullback into support once again around 41.25. And then we should be heading up to the balance area high. They tried to fake us out with a news bot, did they? Not us. No, sir. No how. Okay, pushing up into that resistance now. All right, so as I'm looking at the ticks here, we're working our way closer to that balance area high. I'm seeing they're still pretty low. They're, of course, finding support at the zero line, but they are very low ticks. So with the ticks this low while price is pushing higher, that tells me there's more shorts covering here than new money buying. So I suspect once we do get above this balance area high, we're looking to get a look above and fail. So I won't be overly bullish until we confirm new buyers up there above the balance area high. 41.39. Mark, why does Jim Dalton say that short covering weakens a market? Why does short covering weaken a market? Because it takes out potential longs. So once those shorts have covered, they don't have a reason to go long anymore, whereas they did when they were short. So you're taking longs out of the market by taking the shorts out of the market. You're also pushing the price higher to where you're going to run out of buyers. So if you take all the potential buyers who have to buy because they're short out of the market, at the same moment that you run out of new buyers, what does the market have to do? It's got to go back down looking for new buyers. It's the same reason a liquidation break strengthens a market. Damn jam, balance area for NQ. Well, right now it's what we would describe as breaking out of balance. It could also be the NQ is notorious for creating channels as a way to balance. So it could be that we're doing something like that. But if you were looking for a vertical channel, they broke out of it, which is bullish. Nora Auto Trader, good morning to you. Kathy Tick's not really going higher. Like I said, that's a sign that we may just need to look above the balance area, and then we'll pull right back down. But we just got to wait and see. All right, so this node around 35 has been acting as resistance. Can we turn it into support? Man, the resistance is strong here. Come on, buyers, poke on through. All right, well, we can't get through yet, so we got to pull back down into support once again. Looking to bring in the buyers and try to poke through that resistance. All right, so I'm now looking for support here above the overnight high, 41.2250. I'm going to go back to neutral if that breaks, just because the ticks are trending down and below the zero line, which is not bullish by definition. So if the overnight high can't hold, there it goes, back to neutral. If we pass back through the opening price, I'll be looking to get short to target the opposite end of balance. We didn't quite make it, but remember, these levels are arbitrary. So if I was just wrong, and actually this is the balance area high, we could be heading straight down now. So I'll be looking for support in here. Chop, grind. If it breaks the opening price, I'll be looking to go lower. And pretty much the only thing that'll get me bullish now would be getting back above this node here and finding support up there. Otherwise, I think chop would be more likely. So just to draw out what I just described, below the opening price, I'm bearish for further downside continuation. Above 41.35, I'm bullish for potential breakout of balance. But in between, I expect us to just grind up and down here and rotate for a bit. They never make it easy at a balance area high or low. They always chop you to bits before they reverse and head the other way. It's just the market doing what it do. Jeremy, for the NQ, yeah, I mean, NQ is still pretty bullish. Look for support around 13,098. But if you pull back down below 13,082, it would get bearish for further downside continuation. So that level is your sort of neutral above, neutral to bullish above, bearish below. Jeremy, when the C period prints, if it's in the middle, does that change anything? No, it does not. Only if it breaks the B period high or the A period low. Well, so much for the ticks trending down. This is about to become a very big green candle. All right, so once again, we're looking for resistance in that node around 35 and for the chop to continue. If they can get back above there, above 35, come back down and find support, I'll get bullish once again. But they got to prove it to me this time, or I assume we're going to run out of buyers just like we did before. And then chop it up. All right, so with the printing of the C period here, there's really not much more I can tell you. Small picture. You got your levels here, 41.35 and 41.16. If you can stay above, get above and stay above 35, look for continuation to the upside. If you can get below and stay below 16, look for continuation to the downside and look for the market to just grind around in between those two areas. Bigger picture wise, we are in a balance area. So the way balance areas work is you get this right here a lot, where it'll push above, try to go higher, and then it can't and it comes back down. That failure, that look above and fail, is what targets the move all the way to the opposite end. Okay? That look below and fail to the downside is what targeted the move all the way back up. So if we get back below that opening price, you could have a look above and fail on your hands that would target a trade all the way down to 40, 85, 50. But it would be a very slow grind, right? We're in a balance area. There's tons of support and resistance in here. So it's not like it would fall like a brick straight down. It would be a slow melt lower. But it would be one of those days where all day long you're convinced it's going to bounce and head back up. And it just keeps dropping. And by the end of the day, you just find yourself down at the opposite end of balance. So keep a close eye on that opening price. If we get below there, that could be what we're looking at here today. And of course, if they can get above the B period high, then they are one time framing higher, and we can just look for the market to trend as long as it can keep one time framing. But in the middle, Chopsville. Choppity chop. All right, good luck, Godspeed, and we'll see you here tomorrow morning. If you are a member of the brigade, let's ride. Cue the music. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the heads up, Patrick. 91 likes. We can do better than that. Come on. Give me a couple more likes. Get me above 100 before you head out the door. I sure would appreciate it.